this is Quinn here with a super easy arrangement of Amazing Grace. If you want to check out the tab or the backing tracks for this, just look in the links below. So let's just kind of jump in and start taking a look at it. So I tried to arrange this in a way that made it as easy as possible to play through. So you'll notice when you're going through this, there's a lot of open strings. Just as a little heads up, if you don't want to play as many open strings in this, you can always fret a lot of these notes instead. But I'm just writing this out for like some of my beginner students in mind, so I figure open notes are pretty easy to play through, so kind of stick with that. But if you want to go off of the sheet music above the tab, that's an even better way to play it if you can wrap your head around that. Alright, so let's just jump in. Here's the opening phrase of this. Okay, so really easy notes right here. All of these notes come from the G major pentatonic scale, which is really interesting. It's actually the same notes as the E minor pentatonic, but we're just centering around a G note right here, or a G chord. Cool. So we're starting on the note D here, open string on the D. So we have O2, going to the open G right there, open B, open G, open B. Now right here, you could let these let these three notes ring together, or you could try to separate them like that. What I do in that case is I actually use a little bit of my left hand to mute the B string. So I might pick the B. When I go to pick the G, I'm not actually fretting the string right here. I'm just very lightly laying my finger over the B string. But when I do this move right here, I'm actually picking the G string, but muting the B. So that's a little technique I might use throughout this. If you're playing with more distortion on your guitar and you don't want the sound of the notes ringing together, that's a good technique to allow your open strings to be really clear. Okay, so second fret on the G string, that's the note A, open G, second fret on the D, open D. So far all we've used are open strings and the second frets on those strings. So really easy. You can get away with just using like your first finger for all of this so far. In fact, you can actually play through the whole piece with just two fingers, your index and your middle, or maybe like your index and your ring finger if you want. Okay, so let's keep going. Restatement of the same thing, but now we've got a slightly different ending because we're going to this D chord right here, or we're going to hit the note A to lead up to it, second fret on the G, to third fret on the B string right here. That's the note D. So right when we get to that nice big D chord, we're going to hit the tonic of that, the note D. Now leading back in the G, we have that's O3 on the B string, and then another hit on 3 on the G. That's like probably one of my favorite moments when you get to that G7. You hit that nice open B against it. Second fret on the G, open G. Second fret on the D, open D. Kind of a restatement of the main theme now with maybe some slightly different chords. So when we get to this part, open D, second fret on the D. When we hit that open G chord, that's where we get this really nice moody E minor chord. Not all versions of Amazing Grace have these exact same chords, by the way. This is just an arrangement I like. You could get much fancier with the chords, or even simpler. You could actually play this whole song with just 3 chords, just the G, C, and D chords if you wanted. But I put a couple extra more interesting ones in there. So that's right over the E minor. Open B, open G, back to open G right here. That's where we're getting this kind of second to last G chord, second fret on the D. That's a A note over the D chord, and then open G. I kind of chose to do that over a C. Very common way to conclude this. This is what's sometimes called an amen cadence at the end. So we have like a 4 chord, which in this case is C, resolving to a G. And just for the melody there, I wrote open G. We played over that C chord, and then just to spice it up, a nice harmonic at the 12th fret to play over that G chord. If you've never played a harmonic before, you get a harmonic from just very lightly laying your finger over, in this case, the 12th fret. You're not going to actually touch the 12th fret, because if you had your finger directly over the 12th fret, and you try to fret it, it would be a little muffled sounding. So you just very lightly touch the 12th fret, and you can even like pull your finger away after you've played it, and the note will keep ringing out even as you take away your finger. So just to conclude it and give it a little bit more of a sense of finality, doing that right at the end. And then you could either start over again, you could go back to the beginning of the melody, you could take a solo over it, you could switch to playing the chords, try playing around with the backing track and see what you can come up with it. Alright, so thanks for watching. There's a nice easy lesson on Amazing Grace for you all.